Well,
But you know what
what
the
I'm
thing
looking at it
is?
from the point of view of somebody wrote this. You know what I mean? Like,
But the book is even worse though. The book involves another dwarf named Penny, and involves like three other fucking people, and involves like 12 chapters of them still not getting to Marine because they're doing that circuitous thing you're talking about, Lorenzo.
circuitous. That's the word I was looking for.
Circuitous.
And yeah, and so like it just seems a little like ridiculous. And I don't care if it was J. R. whatever Martin who did it, or like the writers and like whoever did it. I still think it's like it's just like they're throwing like plot twist into it. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, well, how about if this guy finds him? Oh, well, how about if cock merchants find him?
Yeah,
You know, it's just.
yeah. I mean,
I
yeah,
want
I,
to
What
know
the
I
hell is
completely
a
agree.
cock merchant? I mean, I know what it is, but I
But
mean,
then on
those
the other,
exist?
someone who sells dwarf cocks because they're supposed
They
to be
exist.
like, I guess, like I don't
They're magical. I was like, what?
no, I mean,
magical
I
dwarf
totally think that
cocks.
that was a line said just for the audience. You know, it's just like one of those things to get a laugh. That was like written for the sole purpose of like it was a funny thing to say.
Did
And
come
that's kind of
across
what
as a
I'm talking
joke.
about. It
No,
seems
it
like the
was
dialogue
hilarious.
has like gone downhill. I don't know when this started, but it's definitely noticed it like in these last couple episodes.
It sounded like he really thought it was magical. It didn't sound like a joke to me.
No, 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 you're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying that the writers wrote it as a gag, as a joke. You know, it wasn't like true dialogue. It wasn't driven by like it wasn't real to like what a character in in that world would say. It was just a gag for the audience to laugh. Not I'm not saying that it was a gag in the show. I'm saying it was like a gag. Johanna, you understand what I'm saying, right?
I understand what you're saying,
That
but
it's like breaking the fourth wall and giving a little wink.
Right, right, right. And if I just feel like they haven't been I don't know. I just feel like the dialogue hasn't been as good as it was in the past. Would you agree with that? Or have you noticed?
Um, I thought the dialogue in the episode where Sansa and Baelish are traveling was particularly good, but then I haven't found it very striking after that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I still like that's true. I still like
Yeah,
Littlefinger.
there's still certain characters who still drive the show, or who steal their scenes and drive their scenes. So Baelish is definitely one that steals his scene. Um, obviously Tyrion still, even in this like muted state that he's in, is still capable of really commanding a scene, and you want to hear what he has to say, and you want to pay attention to the scenes that he's in. Um,
Well, he's a great actor. I
yeah,
mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like there's really
right.
good actors
But as
still
far as
holding
like
their
the
own.
words that he's saying, though,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's that's what I think I mentioned on our last show. Like part of the wit and the charm of the show was he was a large part of what made the show interesting and fun in certain moments. And even when he's going through his trial, like the trial for his life, he's still able to kind of keep that level of humor, and that level of just being a little bit just being boisterous and just being himself, right? And so from the moment that he kills Shay and then kind of defects from King's Landing, like ever since then, the character has been a muted version of himself.
Which makes sense based on what he's
he's been
gone
held
through.
captive this whole season.
But it
Right,
doesn't
right.
add to the entertainment value of the
Of
show.
the
Or,
show, exactly,
yeah,
because there's nobody to replace that. There's no backfill. There's nobody
there
filling in
isn't.
for Tyrion. When
Well,
Tyrion's
I
not,
mean,
yeah, that's
who
it.
could?
okay, so another example of the show jumping the Stark. I mean,
The
jumping the
Stark.
Stark, jumping the shark
Jumping the
is
Stark.
okay. So like that girl comes into Sansa's room and offers to give her a bath, and it's like doesn't shouldn't Sansa like have like a handmaid or something? Like
Yes.
why is the dog keeper's daughter? Like if I was Sansa, I would have been like, you're the dog keeper's daughter, you know, like get me like a real like handmaid. So it
Well,
was, they right. I mean, you see what I'm saying? They wrote it that way just to get them in the same room together, just to like make that scene. They needed to make that scene, and so they wrote it that way. It's the same thing with like sending her into the kennel
Yeah,
or
and
the dog pits or whatever. Like, why would she go in there? you know? Like the stranger tells her to go in, so she goes in.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there, Lorenzo. Like, for what's the purpose of putting those two women in the bathroom together
Because they
for
wanted to
having that
show,
conversation? Because
right, they wanted to
there's
show
nothing
that
coming out
drama.
of it. Right, there's nothing coming out of it. There's no like plan that this Miranda girl has that she's going to put into effect, while she's bathing Sansa,
Well, right.
or she's not going to put anything in Sansa's head that's going to make her change her mind about marrying Ramsay or anything like that. It's not doing anything. So it's literally just setting up a conflict. It's literally just playing, that gossipy that gossipy part of life, like where it's just like, oh well, she loves him, and all that. Like it's just that cattiness, and it really felt like dull.
Yeah, I
All
think
right, well, nothing's coming out of this.
I
I
think
mean,
that scene would have worked better had Sansa done something to Ramsay, because in that scene with the what's her name, Maria, what's her name,
Marcella.
Marcella, that's her name.
Yeah, Marcella.
Oh, I thought she had a D in there.
Who?
Anyway,
Wait, the daughter?
yeah, the one giving her a bath,
Miranda.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Miranda. I'm sorry.
Miranda. Yeah, so when Miranda was trying to scare her, and she's like, listen, you love him, you're not scaring me, whatever, and she stuck up for herself. I think had she stuck up for herself against Ramsay, I think that scene would have meant more. But when she didn't, that scene kind of just doesn't mean anything.
yeah, I mean, I think that is actually probably why they had that scene, was because they've been trying really hard to show that Sansa is like getting stronger as a character, and like the finale was just so like her being so weak that I think they needed something to reinforce that idea that she is her own woman,
But then I
The
feel
reinforcement would have been had she stabbed him,
No,
Or-
I
killed
mean,
him
but they
right
couldn't.
there.
Right, but
Yeah.
you couldn't have that because it just they need.
We need to have
We
four
need to
more
go this
episodes.
way.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like we needed to get her raped. She needed to get raped. Like that's so.
I don't know if it's technically rape.
Lorenzo.
I think it's technically rape, Lorenzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. So
Someone's
just
crying.
to like what?
Someone's crying, and obviously, it's rape, Lorenzo. It's rape.
No, I'm.
He
what I'm
ripped her
saying right
clothes
now.
off.
What I'm saying right now is that I am going to go with the argument that it's not rape.
Okay.
Why?
Are you doing that to
Why?
be
He's
funny?
doing that to be
or you-
entertaining.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, but what's your reasoning, Lorenzo?
That
Like,
they're
what's your
married
reasoning?
now? You can't
Is
rape
it-
your
is
wife? Is that it?
No, because I mean, some people do actually believe that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Oh, do you want to hear the whole argument right now?
No, don't do it. Don't do it now.
No,
let's
no,
do it.
let's
Let's
do
do
it
it. I'm
for the
already
show.
recording, so
Let's
let's.
save it for the show.
Yeah, there's like gold. There's like
I want to be. I want. I
Gold
want. I
going
want
on
our
right now.
shock to be genuine when you say it.
Yes. Yes.
It's good. We gotta take a cue from well, maybe not so much from the writers of the Game of Thrones. We have to. I want the shock value there,
Release
and
the
then I want the reaction from the three of us,
All right, let me just type up a quick intro and then we can go.
and then you're gonna start getting hate mail, Lorenzo.
So
If you're okay with that.
I seriously wish we get some sort of response from our fucking audience, man. Like, what do we got to do to like motivate them?
You gotta say something like what you're about to say, and then people will tune in just because they hate you or us, one or the other. But
I'm gonna go with the latter.
That's how Howard Stern made his living, right? He got people to hate him, and people who hate listen longer than people who love.
Is that statistically true?
That's statistically true. Because they're looking for information to use against you. Where people who like you just listen because they like you, and then that's it. But people who hate, they want all the dirt they can get on you. They want any reason to say you're bad.
Yeah. So did we ever come up with like a format that we're gonna do?
Well, instead of 5, 5, and 5, there's like 4 storylines, right? I think we spend maybe 7 minutes on the rapey scene or non-rapey scene. The rape versus non-rape debate. the rape debate. We can call it that. We can call that segment the rape debate. And then move on to what's the sand snake fight,
Oh my
and
God.
and
That was-
our visit
Miami
to
Vice.
I think we're all like,
the non.
could we? There's absolutely nothing. There's no room for argument in that one, right? Like,
No, I think we all agree that scene
it's
sucks.
just so ridiculous. Like they just want. Well, okay, we'll talk about it. And
No,
then,
at least we got to go to Browntown in this episode. What was the next strongest thing that happened? Like, yeah, I'm telling you, this season has been disappointing. I don't know about the rest of you, but
the trial. The trial is the next strongest thing.
yeah, that's
Sorry.
did anything really happen there that's worth talking about? Other than that,
kind
other
of
than-
like it's gonna like spark this guy. There's got to be repercussions for that.
I just don't know how the king didn't stand up and be like, "Yo, you ain't taking my woman."
'Cause he's a
unhand
little
her.
pussy. He's only like
like
what
12.
12?
I know, but he is the king.
Yeah, but he just listens. He's
He's
very
not.
weak.
Joffrey never would have stood for that crap.
I mean, fair. Yes.
But Joffrey was crazy. He's like young Ramsay.
Mm.
Yeah, see, the thing about Joffrey was that he would never like secede his power to like the faith, you know.
Yeah. So Cersei's plan is working to the T.
So she's planning. It sounds like she's
So
planning on going to war. The reason why she talked to Littlefinger was because she wanted to get the what do they call it, the Knights of the Vale, to help her fight.
Stannis.
Stannis.
No, not Stannis. It doesn't sound
Not
like it.
Stannis?
It's, to me, what I took from it was the question was more, and I could be wrong, but to me the question was more about Mallory, her people.
The Tyrells?
Yeah. No. Not. That's a good point too.
The Boltons?
No, the Queen's people. I forget.
Those are,
Yeah, Marjorie.
Marjorie,
Tyrell.
the Tyrells.
The Tyrells. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the Tyrells. Exactly. I think she's looking to get them, and then if she can have them under Hill, then that'll like secure her place to allow her to then fight against the others. I mean,
I thought they were talking about the North because what's his face Baelish is like, yeah, I'm gonna help you, and then you give me the North.
but that was after he said that they are massing in the North. Like he's the one that told her that that was all after he told her about Stanza.
Right.
Remember? Like once he told her about Stanza, but her original question to him was just, "Can I count on your troops if it comes to war?" And she was not specific about who she was going to have war with. And then he was like, "Oh, well, one more thing." And then that got him to the whole discussion, and now he's actually going to go. He's planning on going north to take Winterfell. After, I mean, it's a good plan, right? The two armies are gonna slaughter each other, and then the Knights of the Vale will come in and just take the north.
Yeah, I want to know something. Like when she said she said Winterfell is 1,000 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, does this guy got a transporter beam or something?
Stannis.
Littlefinger, because he seemed to have gotten to Westeros pretty quick. And these other guys got to Dorne. I have to imagine Dorne has got to be 1,000 miles away. But yet, Tyrion still hasn't gotten to Meereen.
1,000 miles. How
1,000
fast do you go? Like 10 miles an hour?
No, I mean, so let's think about it. You got 2 horses pulling the carriage, so that's 2 horsepower, right? Right? So I can't imagine a horse pulling a carriage is going that fast.
Well, how fast? Like
I don't know
7
how they
miles
clock
an
the
hour?
speed. Yeah, let's put it this. Even if they were going let's say they were going 20 miles an hour,
Uh-huh.
right? Right? How many miles? And they traveled for 8 hours,
No, more like 10 hours at least.
10 hours. So it's 200 miles a day if they did uh, 10-hour rides.
Yeah.
So it took them like
it'd be
5 days to get there.
it's not
I
too
doubt
bad.
they're going 20 miles an hour though.
No, it's probably more like 10 days. That's not too
Ridiculous.
bad. I guess it's still within the realm of like possibility that it took 10 days for them to get married.
Yeah, it seems like everything's happening so fast. But this season has just been. I have not been impressed this season.
That would be kind of a funny conversation though. Horsepower. We could talk horsepower.
Yeah,
oh
they have 2 horsepower.
Talk wedding night expectations.
my god. I can't wait.
We could talk I don't know, like it kind of put me aback thinking about them in terms of like, like our own like European standards about like sexuality and stuff. Like it makes total sense that there would be like homophobia and all that going on in that place, in that setting. It feels weird. I don't know why.
What, the whole witch hunt?
Well, it's not really a witch hunt, is it?
Well, it's not really a witch hunt as much as a witch, small room full of people who want to execute you.
Well, I mean, but like a witch hunt implies that the person is like not a witch, but in this situation, the guy is gay and he does like practice gay sex, apparently a lot, and so
Indiscreetly, like does not.
he didn't even try to like cover it up. So and then he's lying about it, which apparently is pretty serious offense.
Serious offense, perjury in court.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I can't. They flipped the other guy to rat him out. Now that guy's gay. Is he gonna get sent to the chair too, or whatever they do?
Yeah, I mean, did he cut a deal?
He'll just convert, maybe.
Yeah,
He'll become a sparrow.
convert. I was like, how the hell did them little followers take over an entire King's Landing?
And he was like so laid back about it too.
Yeah.
Like he seemed to enjoy it, Like, I mean, like selling out.
Yeah, selling them out.
Yeah, he seemed to get.
He's like, yeah, and we slept together several times. Many nights, or whatever he said, many nights.
And he's got a birthmark.
Yeah, right above his thigh, or some
Right on
crap
his
like
upper
that.
thigh.
Yeah, it did not seem like his testimony was like under duress,
See, and then if he had OJ's lawyers, the dude would have just been like, how do I know you didn't see my client taking a shower? How do I know you didn't see him in the bathtub?
He's
Where
a
was
pimp.
OJ's lawyers then?
He is a pimp.
Should have had a better lawyer, better representation. I'd be like, don't answer that.
He didn't have it. Like he didn't have any.
Like, don't answer that. Nope.
You don't have to answer that.
No, don't say anything.
Pull out the glove.
Yeah, I'd be like, you saw me in the shower one day, or the bathtub, or whatever they do. I know they don't take showers, but you saw me in the bathhouse. That's how you know that,
Oh, bathhouse. You don't bring a bathhouse into it.
or something. All right, let's get this thing. It's 11 o'clock. We've defeated the entire purpose of getting on at 10. Let's go.
I know, right?
Right, wait, real quick.
Fine.
We're fast. I'm just finishing up the intro.
Okay, but you guys cannot blame me for this. I feel like you guys always blame me.
I actually have to say that I don't completely blame you for this completely.
But had you gotten on earlier when we called you, it could have been 10:47 instead of 10:57. We
But
would have been starting.
I was on.
You were on it. You put us on mute immediately, which tells me you logged in and then walked away.
No, I was there. I was listening to you guys, but I was doing some other
And then,
stuff.
oh, so when I said Lorenzo,
Well, I heard you. Like I
And
was
you
in the
just
other.
didn't
At that
answer.
point, I did walk away, and
Yeah.
then Marcella was like, "They're calling you," and I was like, "Okay, well, let me finish."
Let me finish this and
This. I was in the bathroom. You must know. And so then, like, I took the computer over to the other room, said goodnight to him, said goodnight to Tanya, and then like came into the room, got everything set up. You know,
cooked some dinner, made some rice,
more than 10
and
minutes.
decided to come join us.
Hey, I completely forgot about it completely. Like when you called, I was like, "Why are they calling me?"
I'm gonna grab some water.
See?
All right, so while Malik's writing that up, so what are we starting out? We're gonna start off with the rape scene, and then work our way back,
Forward to back.
forward to back. I mean, it's ironic since she was getting it from the back, I assume.
That comment.
It is ironic.
What was the episode called? Oh,
It
Unmet,
was-
Unbowed.
Unbowed,
Yeah.
unbent, and broken.
Yeah,
It seems like she bowed.
she got bowed,
Oh my-
bent, and broken.
Oh my goodness, you guys.
She got all three of those.
Poor Sansa.
All right.
I was gonna say something nasty. I'm not gonna say it.
You guys are terrible.
Huh?
You guys are terrible. I feel like I'm gonna be the last just man. Just being like, no, it's not right. It was rape.
Rape was the case that they gave him. That's
Joe. Rape me. There, I did it again. Did it too. Rape me
No, she-
again.
she was it commuter rail me?
Commuter rail me.
Yeah, she got commuter railed.
Oh my goodness, you guys. It's wrong. And yeah, wrong.
And none of these Stark kids have a good existence, man.
They're either dead or they're not really anymore. Or...
So what I kind of like I think I was dozing off on the train when she got into the other side of the door, Arya, and she saw were those faces in the walls and the columns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And were those the dead bodies that were getting washed?
that's a good point. I think so.
These other people. Like, so I take it to mean that she could take their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they're dead, you can you
Mhm.
can become them.
I'm gonna throw it to you first, so that you can start talking about Joe, so you can start talking about the rape scene, and then we can kind of go from there.
Yeah.
And then I guess you can throw it to Lorenzo, and and then
We'll just have a conversation. I mean,
Sure.
I don't think Lorenzo needs a cue to jump in. Lorenzo will just jump in. Lorenzo, I think you have problems with your mic.
Oh, of course.
I'm hearing a lot of
I think. Yeah, can you
Yeah,
hear
you're
it?
breaking
Okay
up.
now? I'm breaking up now?
It's like your mic. It sounds like your mic just keeps cutting on and off.
Oh. Okay, how about now?
That's fine.
Yeah, the connection's getting a little weird into my jack. I wonder if I prop it up. Try propping up my computer so that there's not enough.
Yeah. That's what Santa said. Her jack was a little off.
All right, cool. All right, you guys ready?
Lorenzo, you got your audio problem resolved?
Do I?
Yeah, you
Okay,
sound good.
fine.
Johanna, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yay! See, now I'm gonna say something like let's jack some commuter rail me, and it's not gonna be good. So let me think. Oh, I got one. Okay.
Who are you gonna call? Hyman Busters? Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
Oh
my
gosh,
God!
you can listen to these outtakes. This is hilarious.
Oh man.
All right, everybody's good. Everybody got their drinks.
Yep.
Cool. All right, what's up, podcast people, and welcome to the Agents of Helm. In the latest episode of Watching Paint Dry, also known as HBO's Game of Thrones, entitled Unbowed, Unbent, and Unbroken, we saw Sansa finally marry the sadistic maniac she's always hoped for, learn that Tyrion has a magic dragon of his own, and that has actually black market value, and Arya finally figured out that she works at the city morgue. The highly anticipated Sand Snakes showed how formidable they are as a fighting force, really, and clearly Tommen needs much more than sex for his balls to drop so he can stand up for his wife. Malik on tap here as your host for tonight's dig into George R.R. Martin's latest snooze fest, and along for the ride we have the usual suspects: Johanna,
Let's cock some merchant.
Joe,
What's up, people?
and Lorenzo.
What's up, Malik?
What's going on? So, Joe, are you upset that you didn't have a seat at the Winter Wonderland wedding at Winterfell? And who's got it better, Sansa or Reek?
That's tough. Tough question. I think I don't want to fall into that trap, Malik. I was going to say something like, although Sansa's being raped, she can find herself whole again at some point. It may take years, but Reek is never going to be whole.
I think it depends on whether you're a watcher or a participator.
Yeah, and Reek was a watcher, so he's never going to be able to forget that, and he's never going to be able to do it either. So, I mean, he's screwed either way. But back to that rape scene. I mean, I think everybody's up in arms about it when you read posts and things like that along Facebook, forums. People are pretty outraged at how Game of Thrones ended last night with Sansa being raped. Like, is it necessary? And it's also strayed far away from the book, so that adds to it. But again, was the rape scene necessary? I mean, granted, the rape scene did happen off camera, so we don't see it, much like the other rape scenes that have been done in Game of Thrones.
The crying and the moaning.
Yeah, no, you hear the crying, and you could see the horror in Theon's eyes as the camera was, panning or getting closer in on him.
Yeah.
How it looked like he wanted to help her, but he couldn't muster the strength to do so. Yeah, it was creepy. I mean, you think about that. You think about those scenes, and you think about,
Joe, I mean,
the
how
rape
was
scene.
it? How was it supposed to go? Like, what other?
Well, I think,
what other possibility
I think,
would there have been for that wedding night? You know what I mean? Like, you get Ramsay in the same room with Sansa and Reek. Like, how else would they have written it? Can you think of another way?
If we go to the week before, I mean, he was kinder to Miranda the week before, when they were alone in the room. I mean, he was still a little rough with her, but nowhere near as rough as he was with Sansa.
Yeah, but at the
Uh,
same time,
he was
Miranda
pretty
is
rough. He was
I mean-
pretty. He was pretty rough with her. It's just that Sansa was a virgin.
Yeah.
well,
but-
I mean, he didn't like rip off Miranda's
rip her
clothing and
clothes.
just like
She was naked.
go.
She was already
Yeah,
naked.
yeah, she was willingly naked. I mean, we assumed that she was willingly naked, and based off the conversation she had with Sansa in the bathtub, she's in love with this guy. So it seems like she willingly goes to see him and
lots of
willingly
girls
wants to
willingly-
have him.
Lots of girls willingly go to see
yeah.
him.
Not
It
just
doesn't mean that he's not rough with them or like.
Yeah, but here
Yeah,
you have
but see,
you have the flip side of that this time, Lorenzo. Sansa is not a willing participant, and
She said
He
yes,
was-
Joe.
yeah,
Yeah, well, she
Say
didn't really
yes.
have a choice in that matter.
She's not.
but-
Wait,
Yeah,
she's
and
not a willing participant in this relationship, or not a willing
No.
participant in that one moment.
she was not a willing in either.
No.
and I
I
think
definitely
that's-
don't think that she was like wanting to do it, but she never like said that she didn't want to do it, and
Like if she
never,
said no, it would have mattered.
Yeah,
we don't
that's
know.
the same.
We don't
like,
know because she never said no.
Look, that's like the sort of defense that's been used by like men who rape women, for example, with roofies and stuff, for like centuries, millennia now. That somehow like silence equals consent. It doesn't equal consent. But I did want to bring up the fact that
But it doesn't equal non-consent either, which I think is
I
the.
think you could read body language, and her body language said scream no,
Look,
even
I'm not
though she
saying-
was silent.
Okay, so you take the fact that she doesn't say no, and then you take the fact that she did like get married to the guy. So coupled with the idea that of when Miranda came in and pretty much confirmed all her worst fears. You know, she acted like she wasn't afraid to Miranda's face, but she was terrified. We all know that. And then so she gets up there in the middle of the gods and the old gods, and she marries him. Now all that is after that whole conversation that she had with Littlefinger, where she willingly like accepted the challenge to then try to become the
She didn't willingly accept anything.
queen-
She's
the
doing
queen of
what
the
she's
North.
Told.
She-
Remember, this is the whole point. Sansa Stark is continually doing what she's told to do. And
right.
she is only acting. She is almost never acting on her own regard for her own purposes.
But
if-
this was
if she
for her own
truly-
purposes.
This wasn't. She's
was.
Not, she's not marrying Ramsay Bolton out of love or out of care or out
No,
of any
she's
other
married
reason
him for
than-
power.
She's marrying him because Littlefinger told her to.
No, because he
Littlefinger
convinced her
could-
to.
He convinced her to.
He
yeah,
convinced
I
her
mean
to.
it's
She's not marrying him because she came up with this big major plan of
No, she was given the
seducing
idea,
man.
and she
Right, she
accepted
was
it.
she was no, it's not even that she was given. It's
She-
not like her. No.
Embraced the idea of becoming
Little-
like the queen of
Lorenzo.
the North.
Littlefinger and her did not have some sit down powwow conversation. Littlefinger
Kinda
told her
did.
what she
Yeah.
he did not. Littlefinger told her what she was going to do, and she looked at him with that doughy-eyed look that she always looks at people with, and she just kind of accepted it and was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I
and
think
he
he
was
misread
kind
her
of
look.
like he was
I think
kind
he
of like
misread her look.
used your like feminine wiles.
Yeah.
But that was it. It wasn't like she said, "I'm gonna use my feminine wiles." He was like, "Hey, use them. Yeah, go ahead."
It's like clearly she has no plan because you could. That's the whole point. Whatever plan she had gets completely destroyed the minute that she thinks that she's taking some semblance of control with this whole situation with Miranda. And I think that was to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. She's like trying to exert some sort of power and some sort of control over her situation when she's talking to Miranda, trying to make it seem like this is all part of her plan, or this is where she belongs and this is her home and everything like that. And then literally 10 minutes later, after she marries Ramsay, the next scene that you see of her is being absolutely taken advantage of and absolutely and basically raped in probably the home that she shared with her parents and her family, as recent as a few months prior, before all of this shit happened. So this is clearly not what Sansa was expecting for her life to go. Clearly, and she has no plan. If there's one person on this show that has no plan and is kind of just winging it, it's Sansa Stark. She absolutely has nothing, no plans for anything. Her best plan should have been to kept Brienne and kept Brienne around because Brienne was the one person that was like, completely loyal to the Starks and to her family. And even if Brienne sucks at protecting people, at the very least, she's dedicated to the job. I mean, this poor Sansa has no plan for what she wants to do. She just lets things happen around her. She just let this guy take advantage of her. She's let Littlefinger basically manipulate her into believing that she's going to become this, the ward or the woman of the North, the lady of the North. And then she allows Ramsay to pretty much just take control of the situation. Look, I don't. This character, the Sansa character, is like as much of a waste of space as I could possibly come up with, and she's not doing anything on her own.
Everything you're saying though is based on the idea that the scene. Okay, because the reason why I'm so passionate about this particular discussion is because, or like this little part of it, is that in that last episode, it wasn't this last previous episode, but it was the one before that, and they're in the tombs and they're looking at their ancestors, and he's telling her about her uncle, I think, and they're having this conversation, and they talk about like the reasoning for her staying there and marrying him, and she might have felt like she had to agree, but I think there's this look in her face when he's talking to her, and you see a spark in her eye, and you think she is going to kill them. She's doing this so that she can kill Ramsay and the father. That's
I hope you're right about that.
She's doing it, and so she knows what she's doing, and she knows what it means to marry this guy. I mean, that's got to be something that's like in her mind constantly the whole time, because the truth of the matter is, back then there was an expectation, for everybody had all of society had the expectation that when it's your wedding night, you have sex, and so she must have known that was coming, and I mean, not only known
it happened with Tyrion,
but have been terrified. Come on. Joe, obviously,
it didn't happen.
No,
she
but she
expected it to happen with Tyrion. She did expect it to happen with Tyrion. It didn't happen.
And it's ridiculous to think that, she wouldn't expect it this time around, just because of Tyrion. Tyrion is obviously an exceptional fellow. So she when she said yes to him, like when they got married, and she hesitated. She did. She stood there and she thought about it for a second. And she finally, and because it was a scary proposition that she was getting herself into, and definitely in the forefront of her mind was that when I say yes, I'm going to have sex with him tonight, whether I want to or not. And she said yes, and then that happened. And
wait. What else was she supposed to do? She's in the middle of Winterfell, surrounded by fucking Boltons. Like, is there any exit strategy out of there that would involve not getting married to Ramsay?
So you're basically saying the rape happened when Littlefinger took her to the door, and actually Malik's making the argument that the rape happened since she was been hanging out with Littlefinger.
The rape happened when the rape happened.
No, but all of this, it was inevitable. It was an inevitable event.
Yeah, but an inevitability is not the act itself.
Because, like you said, she never consented to anything.
Lorenzo, had he just let her undress and get ready, I think it would have been different as opposed to him.
Oh my God! But Joe, it's just not realistic that he would do that. The dude is insane.
I see what you're saying.
For a whole season, we watched him torture Reek, torture him, and utterly mindfuck him. And you think that his wedding night is going to be a pleasant ordeal?
I didn't say it had to be. I'm saying it's a rape, and you're pretty much saying that it's not.
No, what I'm saying is that.
Yeah, of course you could say it was expected, but it's still a rape.
That doesn't mean it's not rapey. Not even rapey, it's rape.
It was inevitable, is what I'm saying.
And that's fine. It was inevitable, but it's still a rape.
But it's still, it's not the action itself.
Say what?
Inevitability is not the act itself.
Well,
just because something is inevitable does not mean that it's consensual in some way.
Yeah, I mean, it was this whole storyline has been inevitable, If Littlefinger's plan was to get her there, then ever since he had that plan, it meant her sleeping with Ramsay, her wedding night. Ramsay, we all know, is fucked up in the head. So there couldn't have been any expectation by the. I mean, okay, so like the audience, people, like you said, Joe, are up in arms about the way it happened. But the truth of the matter is that it couldn't have happened any other way.
And I'm not going to debate you on that. That is 100%, I would say, accurate. But I'm just saying it was still a rape. Whether it was inevitable or not, it's still a rape.
Oh, it could have happened plenty of other ways if Sansa would have made a goddamn decision.
You are just such a Sansa hater.
If she seriously, she is just like.
But what Malik is saying is that that's like a classic argument too. Is like just stand up for yourself, and that seems just as offensive. I think.
One fucking time, she hasn't stood up for herself, dude. She has not stood up for herself since the first season. Okay, do you understand? Like
right. So if she had stood up for herself, then she could have avoided being raped.
If she had stood up for herself at any point in this thing, she probably
would have got killed. You don't know, but at least she went out swinging.
She might have been dead. She might have been dead by now. But if she would have stood up for herself at any point, that's what I'm saying. What you were saying, Lorenzo, I don't disagree with it. I think that this was all basically inevitable from day one. Just watching this character do absolutely nothing but go along with whatever plan. That's what I'm saying. If she has a plan, if she actually has a plan, then she has been pulling the wool over the eyes of not just everyone in Winterfell and Westeros and everybody, but everybody watching the show. Because honestly speaking, her actions from the very, very beginning of the show has been, I am going to do. The only thing that she's ever really wanted to do was marry Joffrey. That was it. It was the only thing she's ever really wanted to do. And then she wanted to get away from Joffrey, but she didn't know how to get away from Joffrey. So she just stood around in fucking King's Landing, like allowing things to happen around her, allowing things to happen all in her space, allowing Joffrey to disrespect her and sleep with all these other women and do all these other things. It didn't matter to her. She whatever she wanted, she has never done anything to actually change her lot in life other than just connect herself to some other guy and run around. And that's why I can't stand her. Because
that's actually I think you're expressing some of the frustration that I have with the way her character has developed, because I agree with you. I think for the first whatever seasons, that's really what she was doing, and then the last scene last season was kind of okay, she's coming into her own. That scene in the bathtub, she's coming into her own. Oh, great. Now she's gotten raped. Now she's a victim again. And it was very frustrating. It's frustrating writing on my part. And I think that's what a lot of people are frustrated by is just, okay, you started to give this character agency and now you've taken it away.
That's not fair. That's not fair, Johanna. You can't say that you've taken away her agency because of she's a victim now. You don't have to look at it that way. You could if you were her, you would look at it as, okay, I got myself here, right? I'm in bed.
I'm not even talking about this.
I'm in bed next to him. He's asleep, and I've had this dagger in my back pocket the whole time. And then she kills him in his sleep, and then fucking commences to kill whoever else. Maybe that could have happened, but
I'm actually not talking about her as a character. I'm talking about the script choices that were made in shaping her storyline this season. I think you're right. I think calling her a victim in terms of her character is offensive, or just saying that somehow she doesn't have agency. I'm talking about the decisions that the writers made in how they were going to have this character behave or have things happen to her this season. And I think that's what a lot of people are reacting to, is just, the writers were giving her some agency. And now, I'm not saying that, in reality, no, they haven't taken her agency. But in terms of, this world, in terms of, what they've built, yeah, they've taken away her agency. And, that scene from, the next scenes obviously shows her victimized again.
Yeah, I hope that this experience, hardens her or changes her in some way, shape, or form, so that now that she's had her innocence taken away from her, it was probably the only thing that she still had intact. Because everything else was, she's been she has been her entire self and her entire being, her entire self-worth has been completely shattered, because she was connected to a great family, a great house. She was, the next in line. She was the oldest daughter. All these things that she was. She has now been completely in similar fashion to Reek, but just not as violently. But she has now been completely reduced to almost nothing. I mean, she's still the wife of Ramsay Bolton, but seriously, how far is that really going to take her? Like, what is that really going to do for her? And if she even believed, like I said, she kind of makes this haughty statement to Miranda about how this is her home, and she's going to be the queen, and all of these things. And honestly speaking, then again, like I said, the next scene, it's like she slapped right back down to reality. So maybe, hopefully, my hope is that this instance of the rape is what actually forces her to make that turn and forces her to put a plan together to take control of things, and then to really, put something into effect.
Okay,
That
so
will
I think
shock the
here's
shit
the
out of everybody.
difference between what you guys are saying and what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I think, I have faith that this is all part of her plan.
Since when?
You know, since that conversation with Littlefinger. That's what I think. So I think that's where we all disagree. That's the one thing, is that you guys are making her out to be some sort of victim, and I'm saying maybe maybe she knows what she's doing.
I mean, like I said, if she does, it's a shock. It's a shock. She hasn't said or done anything to prove to me, to show anything.
Well, this show has definitely shocked me, a few times before.
Something else that really shocked, that leading to the word shocked. Something else that shocked me in the show is we just spent 3 episodes building up to this group.
Oh, Lord.
Building up to this group of women who were going to take back the respect.
What
of their
the
father,
fuck was that?
and show how the sand snakes were going to go to King's Landing and avenge their father's death. And we watched them fight for the first time. And so
they couldn't even beat a one-handed man like that. They could barely take out like a regular Joe in the last episode.
Yeah, I'm taking offense to that. Yeah, the fight choreography was just horrible. What a disappointment. So underwhelmed by the sands. What were the sand snakes? The sand snakes fighting abilities, which were
shocking.
Barely there.
Totally right. Shock. It was all shock. Like,
I
what
was like,
the fuck is happening?
Come on. They didn't even look like she knew how to hold the spear.
Oh.
Or hold any. Neither one of them looked like they ever held those weapons until they shot the scene. It's like, wow.
This is probably the first time watching a show that I actually wanted to see Michelle Rodriguez actually do it.
She would have done it much better.
I wish she would have been on the show.
And she wouldn't have been taking a white person's role either.
That's true.
She would have been about it.
Oh, gosh, that was so horrible.
But, I mean, like, can we talk about those costumes? Can we talk about Bronn and Jaime's costumes?
Well, they took them off the Dornish guys.
Oh my god, that's what I was talking about. Jumping the shark. It's exactly the kind of stuff that I think
when I think of jumping the shark, I think something more elaborate. Because where
that
jumping the
was
shark
pretty
comes from.
elaborate in a bad way.
They haven't jumped the shark yet. They are in the process of jumping the shark. They're like at the bottom of the ramp, and this shit's just going to keep going up.
Fonzie's on his way to get ready to jump, right?
And yeah, like no, I think they're on the ramp now. They're like going up
on the ramp.
And they're about to, the shark's coming. You just wait. The shark is coming. Yeah, I mean, come on. It was like an A-Team episode. It was like
oh
it was
my God,
Face.
Thank you.
It was like Face and Murdoch, and
yes,
and they just like they sneak in. Like, it's so ridiculous the way they just sneak in. They have no trouble getting past any guards. They just kind of go in, and then they kind of wander off their own little way when nobody's looking. That part was so ridiculous. And then they're shuffling through the maze bushes, and for the last like every time we see that place, we've always seen it from like the balconies, and so our experience has been, you know, that prince is up there or the king or whoever, and he looks down and he sees the girl. Like every time he's looking down, he sees the girl. Like in so far, and I think he's been on there like 3 or 4 times, and every time they're right down there. And this one time, like these guys are walking through the bushes, and the sand snakes are like charging up from wherever they're coming from, and it takes like a good 5 minutes. It's like a 5-minute fight scene, maybe like 4-minute fight.
It felt like 5 minutes. I think it was like 50 seconds.
That means the response time was like, you know, like still way too long. Like, where were these guys? The guy just got finished saying how badass he was and how he still knew how to use his axe, and the king even told him, you gotta like tighten up security. And after all of that, these fools just like wander onto the scene, and both of them could have just done whatever they wanted.
They were wearing the traditional Dornish guard garments.
And Johanna's right. They looked ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. I did think of the A-Team, and I kept imagining like 80s like action music in my head while they were like fighting. It was really, it was not like,
because Jamie looks a little like Face, doesn't he?
Yeah, like Dirk Benedict. Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, ridiculous, stupid, shockingly bad. That's like, why did they build these girls up? Why have we been watching them for like, or why? I mean, I know there hasn't been a lot of build up, but I've been hearing a lot, like from other people, making a big deal about these sand snakes, and then they finally show up, and it is so weak. Yeah, why do you have a fucking whip? Like, what is?
You're like in like a 5 foot by 5 foot space, and you're
it was just poorly. The whole thing was just poorly done. I mean, I think if they had the choreography down, I think it would have looked much better. And nobody would have cared that she was using a whip in a 5 foot space. Nobody.
She knew how to use it. I mean,
it would have been no big deal. They just looked awkward, out of sync. The whole scene just looked bad.
Yeah. You know, another thing is that Jamie is supposed to be like a pretty good tactician, and that definitely did not show in his, like, you know, whole plan to get in there. He's just basically like, I'm just going to improvise.
They did get in there, and he got all the way to his daughter.
Yeah, but come on, Joe, it didn't work. Like,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying the way they wrote it. I mean, he got in there, and it just so happened the sand snakes were after her at the exact same time.
That was just silly.
Coincidence played a huge factor in that, because
that's exactly what I'm getting at, Joe.
It would have got out.
And yes, and the cock merchant too. I think that line about the cock merchant was just appeasing to the audience. It was like Johanna had said earlier. It was like they were breaking the fourth wall and doing a gag just for us.
Yeah,
and
a little wink.
Yeah, a little wink, exactly. And come on, this show is better than that. This show is better than that. It better be.
Yeah, apparently not yet. Yeah, we waited a year for this season to come to pass, and nothing has happened thus far to make me think this was absolutely worth it.
I'm keeping the faith, Malik. I'm keeping the faith.
We'll see. We got 4 episodes left.
4 episodes left. I'll keep the faith that the next 4 episodes.
Can I tell you what I found funny in the episode?
We're running out of time.
Let me tell you guys what I found really funny in the episode. When I mean, it's not a joke or anything, but when Baelish was talking to Cersei and they're talking about the North, and she's like, "We can't go up there. The weather's changing so rapidly up there. Winter is coming." I'm like, really? Really? And so are the White Walkers. They're coming too. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, are you kidding me? How the hell does she know the weather's changing up there?
I guess winter doesn't actually come until the Walkers get there. Like, winter doesn't actually come until the Walkers are there.
Yeah.
Until then, it's just cold.
Yeah, winter's coming. I mean, have you been there before? It looks like it's always winter up there. Or at least it looks like it's always cold. Like, winter's coming. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious?
Just an example of the bad writing we were kind of talking about earlier. Just like recently, of late, it's just been like almost like it's graceful.
Like, if you want me to help you, we got to do it before winter comes.
Yeah.
Like,
I did enjoy her conversation with Littlefinger, though.
Huh?
I enjoyed her conversation with Littlefinger, Cersei.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a winter thing. I'm getting tired of hearing about it coming. I've been hearing about winter coming for 5 years now, or technically not 5 years. I only started watching it last year, but
Oh,
5 seasons.
You're saying that they've been saying that winter is coming for the last 5 years, or what? It's probably been like what, 4 years since the start, or 3 at least.
I think like in terms of like
Fifth season now.
Yeah.
No, but I mean in terms of like their time, is it
Yeah,
like?
who knows?
It's been more, a little bit more.
Yeah. So
Like spoiler alert, but winter is still coming in book 6. Not
Yeah,
there
well,
yet.
I told you, season 17. Winter's gonna get there. Season 17, guys, look out.
well,
It's
I mean
like-
maybe yeah. I mean, but honestly, she doesn't want to be sending troops up there right now. She's got like her control over like the king. It's not as strong right now. I mean, she's building it up, but her authority isn't like definitely like some sort of federal mandate, and so she can't send an army.
I don't know. She
left and
locked
right.
up. She locked up her the king's wife. Managed to get her locked up.
For now, but
And she
She's gonna
locked up the brother-in-law.
right for
The
now.
guy
For now.
she was supposed to marry.
She
I mean, even
she-
the old Judi Dench looking lady couldn't get her out.
Yeah, I really don't know what she has planned for the Judi Dench character. Because she must have something in her mind. Otherwise, she's just totally like burning bridges out of like some petty personal thing.
Yeah, but Cersei, I always feel like Cersei has a plan. Unlike Sansa, Cersei's always conniving, coming up with something to get her own way. So
Who's your favorite female character on the show?
on the show,
Yeah.
oh, that's easy, Khaleesi.
Right.
I'm shocked that it took me 5 seconds to say that.
Just because she wasn't even in this last episode.
I know it's another strike against it.
There's such a dearth of like female characters, that you can really like root for almost. Like Arya, maybe, Brienne, possibly. But
Yeah,
yeah,
where the hell? Yeah, so I'm sorry, Johanna. Where the hell is Brienne? I mean, she was at the top. Like when Baelish was on his way to Winterfell, she was like right behind him. She was looking down. Yeah, we got to go to Winterfell. Here we are. It's got to be at least, like, according to Lorenzo and I figured the math, it's at least 10 days since Baelish left, or more.
Baelish
And
has
she
made-
still hasn't gotten to Winterfell.
Baelish
Where the
has
hell
made
is
it
she?
From Winterfell back to King's Landing. He actually made it.
Yo, where the hell is she? Is she
No,
hanging
she's
out?
she's hanging out on the outskirts. She's there. She's in town. She can't just go into the castle, and so she's
If
waiting.
Jamie Lannister could just walk in the door,
fucking the Water Garden.
Brienne could get into Winterfell somehow.
Apparently, I don't know. Brown people don't handle security very well. That's my lesson from this episode. Because
The Brown Town security's not good.
no, I think it's exceptionally bad. and so I don't think she can just count on being able to just to mosey down in there and like do whatever. Especially since Sansa basically told her to fuck off, and so she can't like just show up. She's got to wait to be asked to show up, and so that's why
Well,
she's there waiting
went
for
in
the
there. She
candle.
can't get asked if she can't find her. If she
Candle's
can't see her
coming.
again.
And I think she was confiding with Reek, right? With well, let's call him Reek. When she says that we have friends in the north, wasn't she talking to him?
No, she's talking about the lady in Moat Cailin who was like, the North remembers.
No, I know, but who was she talking to? She was talking to
Oh, Reek.
Reek, yeah. And so she's going to be bringing Reek into it, which should be interesting. And
yeah, okay.
and so we'll get to see
Yeah.
like one of them is killing Ramsay, and I'm hoping it's going to be in the next episode. That's what I think.
Yeah, that guy can't die fast enough for me.
I hope he dies horribly.
Oh,
So
and
it-
that smile that he gives her when she says yes, it's just so over the top.
If Sansa kills Ramsay, I'm pretty sure it'll be completely by accident. I'm pretty sure she'll be like, "Oh my god, I did not know I was going to do that."
He's gonna trip over her dress and fall on an axe.
Exactly.
Like,
Joe,
oh my God.
Joe, we should do a poll on how, like, we all chip in like $5, $10, and then we guess like how she Ramsey dies.
Oh.
Oh, if we're gonna do something like that, we might as well just do it right now.
Okay, so I say Sansa's gonna be the one that kills him.
Okay, can we have the same ones or not?
Yeah, we can have the same ones.
How is that a pool?
I mean, I don't really know how pool works.
A pool is you put your money in, and one person gets all the money because they were right.
But can't you just split it up?
Then what's the fucking point of a pool?
Randa's got a great plan.
Because I think we all kind of hope that Sansa kills him. I think that's what we all want.
I think
How
we
about
all expect it to be either her or Reek, and so I think those are the two. Like, I think maybe.
Oh
you
fuck
can
that! I
pick
think it's gonna be Miranda.
oh, that's a great one. Or
That would,
Miranda.
but that would suck if she does it, because she's like a nobody.
But he's supposed to love her. He's supposed to be with her. I mean, like, dude, this is Fatal Attraction all over again.
Yeah, I don't want a failed attraction. I want somebody just.
Okay,
to kill him.
what if she tries to kill him and she fails and he's about to kill her, and then Reek kills him, and then Miranda kills Reek? That's what I'm calling. That's my combination, my combo shot. Right
I think that's easy money.
Yeah. So if anybody can do any better, you just let me know.
You know, maybe Lord Baelish will kill him.
Lord Baelish.
Maybe Littlefinger will kill him.
I don't even think Littlefinger's going. I think he's probably just gonna
Littlefinger's
spend
long
the money.
gone. Winter is coming up there.
He's like, I can't.
No, he's coming back. I'm just kidding. He'll be back.
Oh, he's definitely going to go back because he wants to take over.
Well, nobody
Yeah.
thinks Stannis' troops are gonna kill him. Like, Stannis will eventually make it there, probably before Brienne too.
Yeah, probably. He's already on his way. I
Yeah.
think he's going to get there episode 9. Episode 9, he's going to get there.
Maybe Sansa kills the dad, because I mean that's the one that she probably truly has the biggest beef with, because he's the one that killed her brother and her mother, like literally, like with a knife, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe he's the one she's after, and so possibly she does kill him, and Reek kills Ramsay. Is probably the way I see it going.
That's more likely than the other possibility you came up with like 2 minutes ago.
It was basically the same thing. Reek is the one that kills, and I say Miranda still kills Reek, because why not?
Well,
Wow, that was just a long dead
conspiracy.
silence.
No, I was gonna say
I thought I got cut off.
Conspiracy theories abound. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to touch on in this episode?
Arya. Let's
Oh, okay.
explore Arya a little.
What about
real
him?
quick.
Faces.
Can I just note something for a minute? Like how over it Malik sounds in terms of this episode. It's like a revelation. Not a revelation, but it's like I've never seen Malik like this. That's how bad this episode was.
It's like I wanted
You
my
guys
hour.
are finally getting it now. I've been telling you this for since last season.
Yeah, I think Malik's been feeling like gravitating towards your point of view for at least a month, maybe 3 weeks.
I'm telling you, man, it's not. But anyway, yeah, Arya. Let's talk. Let's spend like a minute or so on Arya.
Let's play the game of faces.
Let's play the game of faces. Yeah, I love the way. Who's the other girl with her?
Yeah.
What's her name?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Rando.
Rando.
Exactly.
Anyway, she plays the
looks a
game
little
of
bit-
faces
she
with
looks-
her and
She
just
looks a little
starts.
bit like Tilly. Is that her name, Tilly?
Tilly who?
The one in the north, the one with the little Sam baby. Tully?
Oh, Tilly. Oh, the wildling.
Gilly.
Gilly, yeah, she looks a little like Gilly to me.
Oh,
But
I can see that
go on.
kind of maybe.
I thought she was for a second. I was like, is that Gilly dressed up differently?
So,
That's weird.
so is the game of faces just to lie about who you are and your origin and just make shit up? So you're nobody?
I think so. Yeah, basically, it's the idea of just being able to like to be somebody else, you know?
I
Because
mean,
yeah,
is this how you start to be a badass? Because that other dude, what's his name, Jakar or whatever. Um, he's a pretty badass dude. I mean, killing people, he's assassin, and all this stuff. And I mean, by the time Arya gets to be an assassin, we're looking at like at this rate, season 15. I don't know. I mean, this thing is taking too long, too long, too
Isn't-
long.
did sh did he gave her like what like three people that it was three, right? Like her she got to give him like three names, and then he killed all three of them. Is that how it worked? Was that the deal way back when? Like I think
It wasn't even much of a deal. It was like, I mean, yeah, he did
she
that
used it
and said,
she used it to escape.
yeah, and then he gives her the coin. It was like, if you ever want to reach me again, here, come look me up. It wasn't
My
like,
business card.
yeah, it wasn't like you owe me something now. You have to dedicate your life to me because I did this for you. It was like, hey, if you're in the neighborhood, look me up. And you bring this coin so I remember you. I mean, that's what it seems like, and now it seems like everybody there has dedicated their life to him, one way or another. And since they're playing a game of faces, we don't know what's true and what's not.
Do they actually put on those people's faces, or is it? I think it's magic, right? But
I don't know. He did pull off the mask, Tom Cruise style, Mission Impossible
know.
style, rather.
it looked like magic to me.
Yeah, I mean, didn't he like just pull it off, or did his face change?
His face changed under his hand, I think is what happened.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I don't. I'm not getting what's going on here. Well, I mean, like, what's the end game here with that storyline?
Who's on her list still? Cersei and
There shouldn't be anybody on her
the
list.
Mountain.
Maren Trant.
She was supposed to give all that up, even though we
Oh,
know
yeah,
she didn't.
yeah.
She didn't because she kept
She kept the
Needle.
needle. She kept
right.
needle.
So that was symbolic of how she's not giving up her list. So
Yeah.
who's on her list?
Maren Trant is on her list.
The Mountain.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember who the fuck this person is. I just read on some blog about the episode that Maren Trant is in Bravos or some shit and she's gonna kill him. I don't know.
Oh, but who's Maren Chant?
Maren
Yeah.
Trant.
Who's everybody that's done her wrong? I mean,
I'm going to
This
park
is
the
the
water.
Mountain?
Yes,
Cersei.
the Mountain.
I don't know who. I think Cersei. So I don't know who else is on her list anymore that's still alive.
So this is the guy who killed Sirio,
I don't even remember who Syrio is.
the water dancer, the dancing instructor, the
Oh,
fight
yeah.
guy, the Bravo.
Did they ever show Syrio die?
No,
no, he gets killed defending her, right? Because he
No,
had like
they never.
But yeah.
In the book, he gets away. I mean, in the book, it seems like there's more of a. In the book, it seems more likely that he gets away. And in this one, they never showed him not getting away.
I thought she went to his body and I don't know. I can't remember.
Johanna?
It was so long ago.
Where do you weigh in on this?
I am parting the waters of the internet, and apparently he's the one who the thing is in the series, the last thing you see is Sirio surrounded by these Kingsguard people. Basically, like Maren Trant is like this just like a bad guy. Like he's a Kingsguard. Like there's this picture of him shoving Sansa just to demonstrate to us that he's a bad guy. So, yeah, I think she wants to avenge Sirio's death.
But Syrio isn't officially dead. You're saying in the books he's dead.
I thought he was dead in the books.
I mean, in the TV series, all the Kingsguards came in and he had a wooden sword. So,
Yeah, but he's really good with his little wooden sword.
Yeah, but he's not killing anybody with that thing.
No. He in the book, I think he uses it to get a real sword, and then he, kills some more people.
Like
I
the thing
think.
is, so Arya doesn't know he got away. For all intents and purposes, according to her, he's dead and he was killed by Meryn Trant.
When was he killed by Meryn Trant?
She thinks he was killed when the guards came after her, after Ned Stark was like arrested, and that last scene where he's trying to fight them, and she just assumes that he was killed. So now she's gonna take revenge on him, the guy. Take
Why
revenge.
was he there? Was he there?
Yes, he was there.
Okay, was he the head of the what do you call him, the King's Guard or whatever? Is that who that guy is? Is he the one that got promoted?
Oh yes,
He got promoted in a weird way, and everybody got mad.
Oh yes, because they stripped Barristan Selmy. He was one of the King's Guard, and they're like, "You too old man," and that's
right.
how. Yeah,
So is this the guy that replaced him?
I believe so.
Yeah, that would make sense. Anyway, I don't know who else is on our list. Everybody pretty much is dead now. The Mountain hasn't shown up in a long time, so we don't know what's going on with him. For all we know, he might have been that thing that was twitching under at that weird the mad scientist laboratory.
I think it's very likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, jump in the shark, Joe. I'm telling you, it's going.
We'll see, and yeah, I really don't care about this storyline right now. There's nothing exciting about it at this time.
Oh my God, we've been whining about this for
Yeah.
an hour of how crappy the show was, this episode.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing, if you want to touch on, you want to talk about the trial or that hearing. Basically, it was a hearing, I guess, for what's his name, Marjorie's brother.
Is he the Knight of Flowers?
Yes.
Yes.
They're all flowery. Their whole.
How ironic! He's the Knight of Flowers.
Why? Are you saying flowers are gay, Joe?
Yeah, not saying that. Not saying that. You're not cornering me on that one.
I think you already cornered yourself.
I just said it's ironic.
Oh.
Yeah. That whole idea about like homosexuality being, like some sort of like capital offense is just kind of threw me aback. But when I think about it, like what's going on in Russia and stuff, like it's still like reality in our world today, and so it makes total sense that there would be some sort of like, that this would be happening. It's a little crazy that the faith has so much power.
And they got it rather quickly. That's the thing. I mean, they got it.
Well, I guess it was like an old thing that didn't exist anymore. But when they reinstated it, then it was like a system that had already been established like a long time ago. And so, because he was like citing bylaws and stuff that must have been drafted.
I'm gonna call that guy. What's the leader? Is the High Sparrow? You know what he looks like to me?
High Sparrow, yeah.
You know what he looks like to me?
Ooh.
Gargamel.
A little bit. Yeah.
He looks like Gargamel. I feel like he's gonna be chasing Smurfs. I mean, that's what he looks like to me.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Yeah, he. Okay, I mean, like, when I watch the other shows that take place, I don't know if it's around the same time or not, but like Spartacus, or you watch 300, or you watch any of these ancient, movies or TV series that takes place during like what I guess considered ancient time, or now I guess medieval. There's there's always somebody in a homosexual relationship, or there's innuendo somewhere, even in like Gladiator and things like that. I mean, it seemed like that was like par for the course back then. Like everybody was like doing everybody. So I don't.
Like Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the subtext is that like Messala is really pissed at Ben-Hur because like Ben-Hur like rejected him or something.
So it seemed like it should have been such a big deal.
Well, they're religious fanatics.
Yeah,
So, I mean, the thing is, it seemed before that it was kind of like live and let live. Oh, like, Oberyn Martell, you want to have sex with dudes too? Here's some dudes. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, exactly. He's a good example. He was going both ways. He had his wife and his male lover with him. You know, it's like no big deal.
Well,
Now
because
it's like a big deal.
they're not in Dorne.
You're not in Dorne anymore, buddy.
But that's another storyline I could care less about, to be honest with you.
No, but did you see how Jack she looked when she was in prison? Like it looked like she had been there like all her life. She doesn't do well in prison. It doesn't look like she was doing too good.
It's gonna be Orange is the New Black pretty soon for her.
Yeah, she's gonna be like Crazy Eyes more than she's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Swirl.
But yeah, Tommy gotta grow some balls, and he should have got his wife out of there.
Yeah, I mean, who would you go with if it was between your mother and your wife, Joe?
In that scenario, in Tommen's scenario.
No, not in
gotta
that
go with your
scenario.
wife.
Like in general.
Yeah, well, you know what? I go with my wife because nothing's gonna happen to my mother. Nothing's gonna happen to her. We're just gonna get into an argument
Okay.
in that scenario.
Touche. Yeah. I mean, like, you are the king, and nobody likes Cersei. So if he were to, grow some balls and, like, I guess he'd have to, like, ally himself with the Tyrells, but they don't strike me as being that bad.
Yeah, he should, go find my Uncle Dad. Go find my Uncle Dad.
Go find my Uncle Dad.
Man, if the High Sparrow finds out about that, what do you think he's gonna do?
He's obviously gonna take them to court too. Look,
I mean, Cersei's not safe from something like that.
Another inquest is gonna happen, and probably nothing happening to Cersei or any of them. Look, I mean, Tommen should stand up for his wife, just for the simple fact that, look, if I'm 13 years old, I'm just getting it on a regular basis. The last person that's gonna get taken away from me is the one that's giving it to me. Okay, you are not taking away my source of sexual satisfaction. Mom,
Also,
I'm sorry,
I mean,
it's just not happening.
Apparently, like, she really satisfied him.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
So guess what? No, moms. You can arrest anybody else in their family. I don't care. You ain't arresting her. You ain't not arresting my wife. That's just not happening. You want to arrest Granny over here? Arrest her. No problem. Don't arrest my wife.
Arrest the Granny. By the
Joe,
way,
Malik, I just called you Joe. Malik, I think you got a great point. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. By the way, the Granny, still one of the best parts of the show.
Yeah,
Like,
she's a famous actress too.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, and I called her
I
Judi
don't-
Dench.
I don't remember her name either.
I like Judi Dench. It's a good name.
Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah. Just call her
She
Judi Dench.
definitely reminds me of her. I know it's not her, but she reminds me of her.
Judi Dench it is. Yeah, I like her too a lot. It was funny to watch her in that situation with Cersei. I enjoy these conversations with Cersei. I think that's probably another example of their writing being all like hammy and over the top now, but she's just such a great actress. It's just fun to watch her talk.
Plus, like, her character is made for the hamming, and so is Olenna
Exactly.
Tyrell's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The grandmother was like, "I'll take care of this," and she didn't do jack.
And they got Littlefinger down pretty well too, I think. Like he's another character that they seem to be able to write really well.
Yeah, I can't stand his character either.
Oh,
Not
you
as
know you
much
love
as
him.
Ramsay, but
You know you love him.
I don't.
Everybody loves Littlefinger.
At least he's got a plan, damn it.
Yeah, that guy's always got a plan. That's the problem.
He's the guy you love to hate.
Yeah, that's it. Every show needs one, and he's it. He hasn't done anything so egregious that I really want him dead, like Ramsay or Joffrey. But yeah, I can't stand his character.
Well, he's the one that got his wife killed her old husband, who was who was he? Oh, that was the brother of Kat, right?
I thought that was Kat's sister.
He killed Liza.
No,
Yeah, he killed.
her husband. She killed her husband. Like her previous husband.
Yeah,
Who was it? Who was her husband?
wasn't it Sir John or whatever? Wasn't he the old hand before Ned Stark took it?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes,
So
yes.
she's the one
Why do I
that got
remember that?
Ned killed. She totally
Yeah.
got Ned. She got Ned killed. She started this whole thing.
Yeah,
And
she's
it
the one that
was-
got Ned killed. Yes.
And it was her. You know, it was Littlefinger that was responsible for her doing that. And so Littlefinger is like the like the
Yes.
linchpin in this whole show.
You're
the
right.
whole
And
show would not exist without him.
yeah, and they gave that secret away they finally exposed that secret last season, and
Yeah.
nothing has been done about it. Like, okay, yep, and that's it. Sansa didn't find out. Arya didn't find out. She was right outside the door. She didn't find out. Yeah, nobody knows.
I think that's good for now for him. He'd be in big trouble if people started finding out.
The show might actually move if people start finding out.
I think our show's gone off the rail, guys.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows that have gone off the rail.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I'm giving it some more time. I'm gonna finish the season. Obviously, we're all gonna finish the season, and we'll be back next week to talk about the next episode of Game of Thrones. So hopefully, we'll have something actually that we're interested in talking about, and we won't just we won't just
Bitch about it the whole
we
hour.
won't just bitch and moan about it for an hour. But but I'm sure that this episode was more entertaining than the actual episode of Game of Thrones that we watched. So look, stay tuned for more Agents of Helm podcasts about Game of Thrones, as well as the other podcasts that we're releasing every week. Please check us out on all the social networks. If you don't know by now, it's all Agents of Helm. Just go and search on any of the social sites. Search for Agents of Helm, and you can find us there. You can find us on our website, agentsofhelm.com, or send us an email at agentsofhelm@gmail.com. So for Lorenzo, Johanna, Joe, I am Malik. We are the Agents of Helm. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Peace out.
Hey, do we ever plug Google Plus?
I don't think
No.
so.
Although I've had a lot of randos add me, so I'm wondering if they're finding it somehow.
Yeah, are they just like stalkers?
Hey,
You're just super
Possibly.
into Johanna.
what?
Just super into Johanna. That's all.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, but who knows if it's from the show or not? We know absolutely nothing about our audience.
How can we get more information on them?
By having them respond to